Alright, welcome to Bootcamp Day 7. The reason why it might seem like I skipped one was because I had a psychology video posted from someone else, right? And that's just something I wanted y'all to watch. But welcome to Bootcamp Day 7. I want to talk about highs and lows, but right before I do that, I would like to talk about sessions. Okay, so what is a session? A session is when volatility starts getting added into the market. What is volatility? That is money being put into the market, okay? So what are the times? 9:30 Eastern Standard Time is when the New York Stock Exchange opens up. This is the time that I trade. You can trade any session that you find comfortable with, but I trade New York. Our strategy is going to work at any single time of the day. When we get into liquidity next video, I will tell you guys why, and you guys will understand how it works at every single time, how it can work at any single point of time throughout the day. And yeah, let's get into it. So for sessions, if you're not sure, if you already applied an indicator and you set the time right, it will tell you. You can just look at when it opens and when it closes, and you can get an idea for whatever your time zone is at for the place you stay at. And you just go to indicators, you type in trading sessions. It's going to be under technicals, right? Make sure you favorite that too, because we're going to be using this almost every single day, right? Not almost every single day, we're literally using this. Okay, I don't know why I did that. And when you add it, your chart should look like this. Okay, so as you can see, this blue box right here, this is Asia session, right? This orange box is London session. It overlaps for like the first hour or two with New York session, and then New York session opens in, as you can see right there. If you look at these green boxes, which is New York session, what I trade, you can see there's more movements going on into the market most of the time, right? So that is why we trade it, because that's the most amount of money being put in. And yep, that is sessions for it. And now we're about to get into highs and lows. So what highs and lows do? I could teach you about highs and lows, but I'm about to teach you the highs and lows that I need y'all to understand, because that's all we're going to trade off from, right? Highs and lows number one is going to be session highs and lows. What does that look like? Once you have your trading sessions indicator open, I want you to add your line. There's going to be a plus button right here. If you add your line, if you're on your phone, you got to press and hold, and then if you're on the computer, whatever, you just move your thing, and then make sure it's lined up exactly. If it is 0.25 off, it's wrong. So even if you have to, going to the 1 minute time frame, even zooming all the way in, just to make sure that this is literally exactly marked out to the T, bro. So you draw a line. That right there will be a session high. What session high? This is London and New York session high, right? And what about lows? Same thing going down. The lowest point of the box, right? So for example, right here, this will be New York low. Right here at the bottom of the orange box, not down here at the orange box, because that's when the session starts. This is when all the money started getting put into the market, right? At the very low of this to the T. Remember, if you got to zoom in, make sure everything's accurate, right? Make sure that's good, because that's what's gonna give you the most precision and most precise. Like, it's gonna make your trades clean as fuck, right? Even if it's off by a little bit. Like, you just cannot have that shit fucked up. And for Asia session low, we have this one right here. You might be saying, would we mark out this Asia session high, right? No. The reason why we're not doing that is because if we were to mark it out, right, price already interacted with this level. So when we mark out highs and lows, we're looking for untested highs and lows. What does that mean? It has not been touched. If I were to mark out this Asia high right here, as we can see, London session opened, it touched that zone, and it's invalid. At this point, it's invalid, right? Same thing with this one. You might think, will we mark this one out? No, because price already came up into it. So whenever you come into the market, you just want to look for recent highs and lows that have not been touched. So we have one right here. It's not gonna be marked out as accurate. I'm just showing you guys an example, but make sure you guys zoom in, make sure everything is straight, right? We have this Asia low, we have this New York low. What else we got? Where's price at? If we're at all-time highs, so there should be no other highs above this one right here, right? All-time highs. Going into when I start live trading and I start talking about more information about like how the market's gonna be in certain situations and like what the market can do when we're in certain conditions, that will get into the future. But at all-time highs, yeah, we're at the highest point ever, so there's nothing above us. If I were to go back all the way, price was never at this point before. So all we can do in this situation is look for untested lows, and you can keep on going because at the more you go for these untested session lows, like look, I just want to show you guys an example right here. We have Asia right here, London right here, all untested, right? If Asia session would have came down to this New York thing, then this New York thing would not be valid anymore. But because it's untested, which means untouched, that means this is our session highs and lows. These are also known as key levels, and we'll get into liquidity next video. We also have daily highs and lows. So how would you mark that out? You will go to your daily time frame. I don't trade off of daily highs and lows because I can read price action. Like if a price does something, I'm like, okay, we're probably most likely at a weekly low. Then I could just check it and I'm like, okay, like makes sense. But for you guys, make sure you guys mark it out so you guys understand what the market is doing. Just like we did for sessions, untested highs and lows. And it doesn't matter if the candle is bullish or bearish. It doesn't matter. Same thing for sessions. Nothing matters. It's just the high and low of these candles, right? So let me go clean my chart up. So these would be your session highs and lows. Oh, I removed all my indicators. Fuck. It's all good. But damn. Okay, and then for daily highs and lows, this candle is priced for today right here. So you really wouldn't have to mark this out. This could be a level, but more than likely it will be a session level, and you'll see that and when you scale down into a smaller time frame. But for previous day highs and lows, right, we have this one right here. And one more thing too, I want you guys to, if you guys have to, there's this thing like a magnet. I don't know if my shit's gonna let me work or not. Yeah, okay. And then when you do that, price will literally attract to the higher low that you're trying to mark out as well. You feel me? So that's also easy as fuck you can do too. So we have this low right here, not this high because price already took it out. We have this low right here. We have this daily low right here. And then you can already see that the red one is shorter than the green one. And I would mark that out as a low as well. But I'm not going to because I don't feel like it. Actually, fuck it. Just to show y'all. And then this would be a low. Okay? So, these would be our untested lows. And if price... I don't know how far will let me back test this shit and then go back. But this is today's candle, right? Let's see if you can see this. Imagine if we were at the beginning of the day where price opened up at, right? And price was on its way up here. Let's say price was up here, open over here, and we're coming up into New York session, right? And we had these 3 stacked highs right here. 1, 2, 3. You would mark that out because these are all untested highs. But because market just took them out, it's no longer valid. I was looking, yeah, that's the strategy I'm finna get into when we get to it. But this right here also would have been a potential high, right? Yeah. that was a untested high before market came down into it. And how can we use these highs and lows? We can use these highs and lows by entering trades or knowing when to get out of trades. Why? We're gonna go into that next video on liquidity. But this is session highs and lows, daily highs and lows, and then for weekly highs and lows, it's exactly the same thing, just prices where price hasn't touched on the weekly time frame. So our last weekly low is all the way down here. I don't think we're gonna go all the way down there for a good ass minute. So yeah, you could mark out these as highs and lows. I wouldn't do it until we have a new weekly candle, like usually coming into a Monday. Like what was the last weekly candle coming into a Monday, to see what we can go off of. And I wouldn't mark out my weeklies, because most of the times if you mark out your sessions very accurately, it's going to already lie at the dailies and the weeklies and everything. Another indicator that might help you guys out, if you guys would like to do this instead, you can mark out only your session highs and lows, right? And then you could go to this indicator right here, PDH/PDL by this person right here, right? Y'all see it. Make sure y'all type that in. And then what's gonna happen is when you mark out your highs and lows, it will tell you where is your previous weekly high at, where is your previous weekly low at, previous day high, low, and everything, right? No sessions. So you can do sessions, and then you can be like, damn, let's say price is interacting with a session level, right? This looks way too much. This is all-time highs. It's just stick with sessions. There's no need to mark out all these shits. There's no need to use these shits for right now. Just in all-time highs, just focus on sessions. And yeah, and that's the strategy. I can't talk too much, but for example, let's say this was actually, let me just pull that up. So look at this, for example, right? We have this Asia low right here. What makes this Asia low very good? Because it was a previous day low, right? It tells you right here, PDL, previous day low. Today's low, I don't use that shit. Today's high, I don't use that shit. It's just PWH and PDHs. Right, and you can align these up with your session highs and lows, and then once you understand, like, okay, this is what I'm looking for, yeah, you will get that. And for homework, I would want you guys to go on the chart and just start make your market right now. Like, start setting up everything, yeah, and practice that, and catch you on the next video.